What's up everybody, it's Dustin here with Missouri Off-Road, and we just finished designing our headlight upgrade featuring Diode Dynamics lights. We're going to give you full plug and play wire and harness. This video is going to show you everything you need to know on how to remove them, how to replace them, how to reinstall them, and how to get your HD11 4 times brighter at night without any extra wiring. So let's get to it. First thing we're going to do is open the hood, and under here you're going to have 1, 2, and right under here there is another one right there. So we're going to pull these 3, use your flathead screwdriver, pop the top of that up, pull them right out. Once those 3 push pins are removed, you can pretty much grab it right here, pull it forward, that whole corner panel is going to come off. T30 Torx bit, got one right here, one right there. We're going to get these 2 out. That's going to allow us to move this a little bit, and then we're going to unbolt the coolant reservoir. Bolt's loose and we've got this moving. We're going to get our tool back out. Same T30 right here. There's one right under there, which we'll be able to access when we lift that panel up. And from underneath, the reservoir also has one more right there. So we're not going to completely remove it, so there's no need to drain it. Now on the driver's side, we have the same 3 push pins, and we're going to remove the same corner panel. All right, once the reservoir is unbolted, you're going to want to unplug this little daytime running light eyebrow strip. Little hard for me to show you, but it's super easy to get to. Right down in this crack, if you look down there, you will see the plug. And if you just run your flathead screwdriver down in there, you can get right on the tab. And you pry just a little bit and the plug will come right off. The little eyebrow is unplugged. We're going to want to snap this little ball and socket apart, and same old screwdriver, you just pry up just a little and see it pops right out of there. Over on the driver's side, there's nowhere near as much stuff in the way, so we're going to go ahead, unplug that same clip for the little eyebrow, and pop that ball and socket out. Once everything is taken care of up top, you only got a couple of bolts left to remove the whole headlight housing. So you've got one right there, and then you're going to have one right, hard to see, but it is right there. All you're going to need is a 7mm socket. Take those 2 out and this whole headlight assembly is going to come out. Don't worry about unplugging the lights until you get it undone. We'll get some slack in there and they'll come unplugged real easy. Once you take the bolts out of each corner, this whole headlight assembly is going to come out. That's going to give you the slack you need to undo the plug from the back of each light. One here and one here. They're a very easy catch. You just lift it up, push it out. Don't break the clips. We are going to reuse those. Wire keeper that goes here and here. You can wiggle those out with a pair of pliers or just cut them. Most of the time they end up breaking. We'll secure it back later with just a zip tie to keep the wiring looking good. Now let me show you what it looks like on the passenger side. On the passenger side, the light housing's held in with that 7mm bolt on the inside, and then towards the outside of the fender there's the other one. Same 7mm, undo those 2. And this whole housing and both lights are going to come out at the same time. The housing is unbolted from underneath and we've already unclipped it up top. The reason that we undid this coolant reservoir is because it just kind of hangs you up a little bit. So it doesn't take a lot. I'm trying to do it one-handed here, but essentially you're just going to kind of push it up out of the way and fish your lights right around it, and then they'll drop right out. Now it's time to remove the actual lights from the housing. All you're going to need is a T15 Torx. Once, twice, 3, 4, 5 T30 screws you're going to remove, and you got one down in this little spot. You're going to need a 5.5mm socket to get that out of there. When you remove the 5.5mm nut, there's actually a little spring behind it. We're not going to reuse it. I just wanted you to know so you don't drop it. I like to hang on to everything because you never know if you're going to put stuff back to stock. Now with the headlight removed, it's time to modify the housing slightly to accept the new Diode Dynamics lights. So I marked everything in red here so it's easy to see. On this one, we're going to take out the center fin. On this one, you're going to take out both fins on either side of this dip. You're also going to remove, there's a small L-shaped peg. All of these things are going to get cut down flush as if they were never there. So that's what we're going to do right now. Remove all these things that are in red. This action is exactly the same whether you're doing the driver's side or the passenger side. You're going to remove the same fins in the same places on both sides. This is what the housing looks like with all of the red parts removed. On this one, I actually used a die grinder so you can kind of see. We're just trying to get it flush. Do not remove more than you need to. If you're not sure, leave some. This side, I actually cut with my pocket knife. You can get them out pretty easy. Right back here towards the back, I used a set of dikes and snipped it, and then I just cut under it all the way in. The little L-shaped piece, same set of dikes, I just cut it off. This little stud that had the spring and the 5.5 millimeter nut on it, if you grab it with a pair of pliers, I actually use the dikes, you can turn it. It'll come out. See, it's just a coarse-headed screw, so you're just unscrewing it out of plastic. So grab it with a good pair of pliers and you can get it right out of there. Next thing we're going to remove is this piece right here that the light was bolted to. If you wiggle it, you can actually feel it pivots. So we're going to get a flathead screwdriver up under the edge and just unsnap it. It's just snapped together. Doesn't take a lot of prying, and we're not breaking it. We kind of designed this whole thing so that if for some reason you wanted to go back, you can put everything back to stock. So we're not modifying anything that can't be put back. Now we're ready to get out the hardware kit that comes with this kit, and that's going to show us where to mark our holes, and really that's about it. All right, this is the hardware you'll receive for making all of this work. This is enough for one side. This is the driver's side. You will actually have twice as many of everything on the table right now in your bag. You will have 2 of these bolts. You'll have 6 flat washers. You'll have 2 nuts. You'll have 2 of this black cupped washer. You'll have 2 of these built spacers with a hole pre-drilled. You will have 4 total harnesses. So this is what you will need to do one side. We've got everything else out of the way and we've seen our hardware. We're going to start with the custom spacer. It's obviously made to fit right there. It fills that gap, makes for a nice flat spot. We're going to pre-drill this hole, and that is where you're going to drill the factory bracket. In order to mark your spot, put this spacer in exactly flush on the outside with the original bracket. Then mark your hole and we're going to drill it. Now, when you mark your hole, make sure that you're not only flush right out here in the front, but you're also straight and level across the top. I actually just used the drill bit to mark the hole and I held it down with my hand. Pretty simple. There's the hole. So what I'm going to want you to use is a 5/16 drill bit. We want that hole to be nice and tight for the bolt so there's not a lot of slop. It just makes everything work better if you use the right size drill bit. All right, I've pre-marked where we're going to drill the hole on this side. It is 1 3/4 from the outside face back. You're just going to do it right in the center. That rib that we trimmed out, that's in the center. So you're just going to put your mark right on top of that, 1 3/4 from here. If you're not sure with your tape measure, you can use the spacer that we use on the other side. We've already pre-drilled the hole in it for you. And if you lay it down and you flush it and you line it right up, look in there, there's the hole. Okay, we're going to assemble the lights. We're going to use the Diode Dynamics brackets and the Diode Dynamics hardware that comes with it in order to hold the bracket on the light. This is how you're going to assemble their bracket on their light. See how it juts out? We actually are going to adjust that bracket all the way until it touches the housing right here, and then tighten these down. Make sure on your low beam, whichever one you're going to do on the low beam, that you install the longer bolt that we include with our kit, because the low beam is going to be the one that goes in the bracket where the dip is, where the custom spacer is, and you're going to need longer bolt than what they send in order to get through there. So put that bolt in the bracket, put the bracket on the light just like this, tighten everything up, and then you're going to put it through the custom spacer, and then you can bolt it up from the bottom. Your high beam model, the bracket's going to be installed on the light exactly the same way as the other, but we are going to use the Diode Dynamics little carriage head bolt that comes with their kit, because it's only bolting down right there, and it can simply be put in just like that and tightened up. Now let me show you what it looks like once they're assembled. Okay, this is how the new headlight assembly looks once you've assembled it with our hardware and the Diode Dynamics lights. The low beam is the one that has this funny shape and comes with our custom spacer. Make sure you use whichever light you want on your low beam on the one that has the spacer. Along with the spacer, you're going to use the extra bolt that we sent. It's going to get a flat washer. It's going to go through the bracket. It's going to go through the spacer. It's going to come out the bottom. We supply you with this cupped washer to fit that. Then you're going to put a regular flat washer on it. Then you're going to put your nut on it. High beam side, the side without the large custom spacer, gets all the Diode Dynamics hardware. The bracket gets assembled the same way. The only thing you're going to do out of our hardware kit is one small washer underneath it on this side. So you'll put their carriage head bolt through the bracket, then a flat washer, then through the hole you drilled, another flat washer, a nut, a dab of Loctite, tighten it up. Take your time, be very specific about centering that bracket up. The more time you take right now centering it up is less likely of a chance you have to pull it back out. Same bracket setup. When you go to slide the light into the housing, you may need to loosen these up, and that's okay. Pivot the light, it may help you get the bolt in. Once everything's down, make sure and tilt it as far down as you can until it touches right here. Then tighten these up. All right, let's talk about our little plug and play harnesses right quick. The Diode Dynamics light has a backlight feature. Your factory wiring does not support that. In our plug and play harness, you have a power and a ground, and that is what makes the light light up. If, however, you would like to run your backlight, this blue wire will turn it on and off. You can choose to dig this out of the wire loom, and you can hook it to anything you want. If you want to run it on a switch, if you have some other lights with backlights, you want to tie it into that, go right ahead. The system's already grounded. If you connect this blue light to power, then these lights will have an amber glow like a backlight when they're not on. If you want them to turn on with your little eyebrow lights, you can tap into this harness. The white wire will power it up. You can tap into it right there. So you got multiple ways that you can hook that up. That is not a part of it, but we did leave this in there so you can pull this out. If you want those to glow, then you by all means turn them on. It's not necessary, so it is an option. Okay, on your factory plug, there is one minor modification that we're going to make to one plug on each side. So you will have a gray plug and a black plug. The black plug is your low beam, the gray plug is for the high beam. This little white keeper around this end is just a special keyway to keep you from plugging this into the low beam side. So what you're going to do, you're going to take a small flathead or any kind of pick, and you just get right here, and you will be able to pop that right off. Now I've already got this one loose just to show you, but we're going to just remove it, and that is 100% okay. Doesn't affect anything. It's going to allow this plug to slip right into any of our little harnesses. So there you go. It can go right back on. If you ever want it back on, you just stick it right back on there. But we do need to remove that in order for our harness to work, and you're going to do that on both sides. Only on the gray plug, remove the white little cap. I recommend you set the new bracket with the new lights in and go ahead and pop in the ball and socket, let them hang, plug in all your wires, then turn on the machine. Make sure you've got everything working. Let's get lights, high beams. Perfect, everything's on. Now, put all the bolts back in, put all the clips back in, reassemble everything, and you are done.